Ned Goodman has translated much of his professional success and business acumen to sustained leadership in other areas of business academics, most notably as the founder and benefactor of the Goodman Institute of Investment Management, a graduate school providing an MBA degree at CFA charter at Concordia University, where he also serves as an adjunct professor and is a member of the Associates of the Chancellor. He has also, on the other side of his brain, been a major contributor as a volunteer to the welfare of the communities in which he has lived, participating on the boards of organizations such as hospitals, and he also chaired the Canada Council of Christians and Jews. And last but certainly not least, Ned Goodman. Dr. Goodman is Chancellor of Brock University. Ned.
Thank you, Jack, for such a kind introduction. I'm still trying to figure out which side of my brain is talking tonight, but I probably have two sides. As a security analyst and portfolio manager since 1962, I have learned that it's the ability to determine the intrinsic value of a business as the most important ingredient I can bring to the table. But I've also learned that when I'm fortunate enough to determine valuation along with a correct view of future global and geopolitical and macroeconomic events before a change occurs, the result creates the greatest positive rewards to a portfolio.
I like to say that the university and its alumni have a symbiotic relationship. If you're an alumnus of Brock University, you're part of a club that you can never resign from. The reason it's symbiotic is because as Brock's reputation grows, the value of your degree increases as well years after you've earned it. And as you make headway in your own careers, whatever they are in your own lives, your repute actually reflects well on Brock. And as a result, it adds value to the degrees of the Brock students who will be graduating in a couple of weeks and those who will graduate next year and so on. So in this way, we are sort of linked at the hip.
Well, Brock was just an outstanding time for me. I entered through the 12 program back in 1976, where I actually met my wife. She's the very first person I laid my eyes on when I walked into the Q residence. Took a few years, but we've been married for 27 years now. I did a business degree at Brock and then actually returned and did my master's in judicial administration. My most significant recall of my experience was that it was a very close-knit community. You had access to profs, there were small classes, and you had the capacity to really kind of get hands-on tutoring in terms of the content and really kind of expand your mind.
So towards the end of my working career, I looked back and reflected on my whole past and basically came to the conclusion that it was Brock that basically gave me my whole career, my whole working life, and basically the financial security I now have in retirement. And the reason for that is when I was in first year, Brock gave me a scholarship. And at the time, my mother and father weren't very rich, and my father was a carpenter and he was in and out of work quite often. And then when I was in second year, he passed away. So if it wasn't for the scholarship from Brock, I would have never got the education that I did. I would have never become it's called a Fellow of the Canadian Institute of Actuaries, and therefore my whole career. So reflecting back, I decided I needed to do something to thank Brock for what happened. And I set up the scholarship in mathematics, and it's going to be awarded next year.
I'm a president of Charles Way Corporation, which is an equity investment firm in St. Catharines. And actually we have a further history with Brock in that my father being a lawyer, the firm of Chow & Cairns, Mac Chow was one of the very instrumental people in establishing Brock University in the beginning. And through one of our businesses, which is Taro Properties, we were one of the first major contributors to Brock University, which was for the development of Business in Brock, and of course the Terreau School of Business is named after our company. And I think that what's important to understand is we had that faith and belief in Brock then, as we do now, as we see the interrelationships and connection that Brock University has within the Niagara community, and has the ability to be a leader and a real stimulus to developing and refocusing the economy in Niagara.
I got into my MBA program and really liked the camaraderie. It was a smaller class, about 50 people. Had aspirations to stay with Canadian Tire Financial. Got involved with the board of directors, got involved with the finance group, got involved with the MBA Association. We actually started the MBA Association. We're the inaugural year of the MBA program. And great experience. It was a lot of guys I still hang out with, still have a lot of fun with. And from my perspective, it was a great return on investment, because going into my last year of my MBA in finance, TD Bank came knocking with a great rotational program, and I graduated with a job that I still love and work with, and still stay in touch with a lot of the friends there.
Well, when I was at Brock, the university was in the throes of expansion. It was a very small university. It had a vibrant academic community, and the professors were instrumental in the development of all the students. There were very small classes that were led typically by the chairman of the department, and there was a tremendous emphasis on teaching, and this was an extraordinary opportunity, as I realized at the time, but realized later when I went to graduate school and saw the undivided attention of professors on research at the expense of undergraduate students. And it was a great social environment with many opportunities to meet a wide variety of people from different backgrounds.
The event today in Toronto shows that it's time to reflect that on the provincial and on the national scene, the success that the Brock students in business, for example, have had in national and international competitions. So as a business person and as an associate of Brock, still to this date, I see Brock growing beyond the boundaries of Niagara, Ontario, into a Canadian reputation and beyond.
I love the experience. I was in co-op accounting, so that was a very good experience. Allowed me to work. So I worked in Toronto while I was going to school and going back and forth to school and work. It was just a great experience. The more we could do events like this, the more we can get the Brock name out there into the schools, into the financial community, business people doing deals, even internationally. It'll just do a lot for the school and it'll do a lot for us too as well working here.
I decided to choose Brock because of several differentiating factors. I would be in the business program in year one. The village residence was fantastic. They had an amazing athletics program, and the quality of the teachers as well as the teacher to student ratio was superior to all other universities that I applied to.
Well, Brock University was a great place for me. Really helped me grow intellectually and sort of grow into a man and as a person. The extracurricular activities, the sports teams, being on the Brock Marketing Association as well, and great profs, met a lot of great people. It was really the Brock community that really resonated with me as a Brock student. The people that I met and the networks I made and the people that are my friends now and forever. So I love Brock, always will always be an alum, and we'll always love Brock.